What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Skizzy, and today we back at it with another reaction video. Today we taking a little twist because we entering the mind or the eyes of a blind person. It's a video with this girl. It's things I didn't know you could see. So that's basically she's answering questions that people with sight would ask her because she's been blind, I think. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about something that's been on my mind lately. I feel like it's often hard for people with sight to conceptualize blindness, to conceptualize living life without being able to see everything that's around you. Now for me, I lost the majority of my vision at 14, but I've never had full sight. I've always been legally blind. So, although I could read large print and see colors and see faces, I could never see the world with very much detail. So there's things that I've learned in the past couple of years that are pretty obvious to a lot of other people, but I just never knew, never came up in conversation, nobody ever told me about it, and they might seem a little bit crazy, kind of funny. I know I laughed about it when I found out, and my friends always laugh when they find out, so feel free to laugh along with us. And I'm just going to get into it. Here are some examples of things I never knew about the world around me. The first one is that I never knew that Prince or Halle Berry are black.
I'm crying.
I guess I just never saw a photo of them when I was younger. Nobody ever described them to me. So until Prince passed away last year, I just never knew. My parents and I, the day he passed away, were actually listening to some of his amazing music and just talking about how talented he was, and it just kind of dawned on me that I didn't really know what he looked like. So I asked my parents, and they started describing him to me, and one of the things they said was that he's black, and I was like, what? Like, just no idea. Never knew. And when it comes to Halle Berry, I also learned last year, I was on a date with a guy, and we were driving home, and he was talking about how when he was growing up, he was really into the black celebrities. Those were like the women he crushed on, like Beyonce and Halle Berry. And I was like, Halle Berry? She's not black. And he burst out laughing. He thought I was joking, and he was like, yes, she is. And again, I just never knew. Nobody had ever thought to describe her to me, I guess. So that's how I found out that Prince.
I'm not gonna pause it a lot. This one we gonna go through it. I just wanted to say, like, Halle Berry, she probably thought Halle Berry was white because that name Halle Berry is like it's like a Marilyn Monroe type name, you know what I'm saying? Like it really sounds white.
And Halle Berry are black. I'm sure there's a lot of other celebrities or public figures that I totally don't know what they look like, or like my idea of what they look like is totally off, but those are the only two that I've found out about so far. We'll see who comes up next. The next thing is that I actually didn't know you could see in other people's cars. And again, I know that sounds so ridiculous because to most people, that's just such an obvious thing.
This is so interesting.
Never think that a blind person might not know that, but I didn't. I guess I just thought that the windows were really darkly tinted, so you could see out of them, but nobody could see in, or that it was like a one-way mirror or something where you can see out but nobody can see in, something like that. I don't know where I got this idea, but that's what I thought. Until I was 17 years old and my friend and I were driving a car together, and he was like, ew, that woman in the car beside us is picking her nose. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, how can you see her? And yeah, that's when he told me, he's like, you can see into other people's cars. And mind blown. Had no clue. So everything was shattered around me. I realized that people can see me when I'm doing my super embarrassing dance moves and singing in my car. So now I know. Now I know.
She has a car?
The next thing is that I didn't know pigeons had a funny walk. So apparently pigeons have like this walk where they like stick their head out and then they like move their body afterwards. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to model this very
This
well.
is crazy.
But, yeah, I found that out when I was 18 years old. I moved into an apartment in downtown Toronto, and there's a ton of pigeons in downtown Toronto. And I was at the dog park with one of my friends, and she was laughing about all the pigeons and their funny walks. And again, I was totally confused, didn't understand what she was laughing about, and that's when she explained it to me. And the only way I could actually conceptualize it or understand what she was talking about was to actually act it out. So she literally had me, and she's like, "Okay, stick your neck out." So I like stuck my head out, and then she's like, "Now walk forward." And I'd walk forward, and I could only imagine what everybody else in the park was thinking when they were watching me, just like doing this weird pigeon walk in the park. But yeah, that's how I learned that pigeons have a funny walk. The next thing is that I didn't know that you can see detail in the moon. And I actually just learned this very recently when the supermoon happened. For me, growing up, I was always night blind, so I've never seen stars, but I could always see the moon. It just kind of looked like a glowing light, and I couldn't always see it. Like when it was really small, I couldn't see it. But if it was a full moon, I could see this kind of just glowing sphere in the sky, and that's all it was to me. And I just figured that's all it was to everybody else too, like a bit of a glow in the sky. And I didn't realize that not only does it actually really provide light for you, but you can see detail, like the craters and the shadowing and different things like that. Just never knew. You learn something new every day, people. And the last one is that I didn't know you could see texture. So I don't know if that makes sense, but when you touch a fabric and it has a different texture, you can actually see that, and I didn't realize that. I thought, I didn't know there was a difference between the look of corduroy and the look of suede and the look of velvet. I thought they all looked the same. If you lined up 3 red materials that were different fabrics, I thought they all just looked red to you until you touched them, and then you would know the difference. So I only learned this a couple of weeks ago when it just kind of dawned on me. I was wearing a ribbed sweater, and I asked my friend, I was like, "Can you see that I'm wearing a ribbed sweater?" And she was just like, "Yes, of course I can." And that's when I learned that you can actually see texture. And, like this top I'm wearing, it's a blue velvet top. And when I was shopping with my mom and I picked it out, I asked her, I was like, "Is there a pattern on it?" And she was like, well, there isn't really a pattern, but it's velvet. So, it has kind of its own pattern. And again, it was just like that moment where I was like, wow, you can see that it's velvet. To me, I just feel it and know it's velvet, but you can actually see that it's velvet. I didn't know that, which I think is really cool. And I think, there's a lot of things that we don't know about the world. Nobody knows
I'm gonna talk after.
We all view the world differently. I view the world differently than other people because I'm blind, but you might view the world differently because of your racial or religious background, because of your education, sexuality. There's a whole number of reasons why we all have our own views on the world. One day you might look in the mirror and wake up and you're not feeling so hot about how you look, but then all your friends are complimenting you, telling you how good you look that day. Because we don't view the world the same way everybody else does. And that's what's so magical and beautiful about it, is we all get to make our own opinions on things around us. And so I hope you kind of had a bit of a laugh with me on this one. And maybe comment down below. Let me know. Is there things that you recently found out that to other people are obvious, but to you might not have been? I definitely want to have some conversations in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay, I got a lot to say, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. And yeah. First thing first. By the way, that was actually the things that we could see. It wasn't. I was wrong. It was actually. I was thinking about the things that. I thought she was asking. I thought it was basically what we thought that she could see, or what she sees. But it's actually the things that we could see that she didn't know about. It's a plane. I told you I was gonna blow the airport up. Iran might do that first. I'm joking. I'm kidding. It's crazy how we all live in the same world but have different realities, because she can't see anything. And I mean, she knows certain things, but there's a lot of things she didn't know. Like you could see textures instead of feeling it, which of course she's blind, so she needs to feel things to understand and like, to grasp it. And it's just like, man, when you see every day, you take a lot of things for granted, and She on the other hand, she can't. She's blind. She can't really. She's legally blind. She can't really see anything anymore. But it's just like, imagine if you woke up and you couldn't see nothing no more. Like, you would have to rely on your ears and your nose and your feelings just to guide you, and a cane or like a dog or people to help you. And we live in a sighted world, so like that deficit she has, or that lack of vision she has, is really crazy. It's really wild. Like, just the things she didn't know you could see, like craters in the moon and things like that, is just really like, that's hard. Like, that's crazy. I don't know, like, if I couldn't see no more, like, that would be crazy. Like, imagine just watching a movie and you could just hear the words and, like, you know, get kind of the feeling, but you can't watch the movie anymore. Like, that would be crazy. Feel what I'm saying? Or like, you wouldn't be able to look at yourself no more. Your clothes, you wouldn't be able to see it. You would just be able to feel if it's a hard fit. Like, yeah, nah, this is a hard fit. This is silky, but you don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, you see what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't want to keep it because my mind is everywhere. Cause that was crazy. But yeah, you know what it is. It's your boy Skizzy. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we out.
Heard static, we gon' catch ya. Problematic, it's whatever. Gang rollin', Cheech and Chong, fuck a bong on your girl, we gon' roll it on. Staff sinking like 5'5", no, we down to ride.